a celebrity, but she's taken. So can't help falling in love.
3 items in it. Is that what you're waiting on? You're gonna be
Can't
okay with
take my
that?
hand and
Okay.
give up.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
My mama told me don't talk to people you haven't met. I guess my mama was right. But it's not cause everybody you meet is dangerous. That could still break your heart.
Oh, these are so tiny.
Plays it so cool, making up her own rules. And I'm a loser for thinking I've got.
I don't know why I'm holding all these books as I filmed the intro. I'm also really frustrated right now because I forgot my camera back at my place and I'm staying at my parents' place. I'm filming on my phone. I have a mirror in the back. It's a very weird setup. But anyways, hello and welcome back to yet another video on my channel. I know I haven't been posting as much lately and I'm so sorry. I just haven't been reading as much. It's more effortful than watching TV, and because I do work a very tiresome, very mentally draining full-time job, it's like not the first thing that I reach for when I get back home. I really do want to start reading again. Hopefully this will be my motivator to start reading. If you guys are new here, my name is Jane. I like to create content about books and vlogs when I have the time. I'm trying to be more consistent, so if you guys would like to see and follow me, I'd be so happy to have you here. So in today's video, I am doing a big birthday haul. It's a lot of books, so let's get into it. I don't even like how. First, let's open my packages. And I don't have anything to open my packages with. Wait, what? What? When you just order too many books that you don't remember what books you ordered, yeah, that's a problem. Ooh, this package is exciting. I have some good books in here. In no order whatsoever, I'm just gonna choose books from this pile and show you guys. So in the package I just opened, the first book is Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. Still have yet to read her Kingdom of the Wicked series. It's there on my shelf. It's literally on display. And I see it every time I watch TV because it's right under the TV, but for some reason, it sounds really good, but I'm just not picking it up right now. I think the other one was about the Prince of Hell. This one's about the Prince of Envy. The Prince of Envy has never claimed to be a saint, but when a cryptic note arrives signaling the beginning of a deadly game, he knows it will take more than a hint of sin to win and save his falling demon court. Nothing will stand in his way, though none of his meticulous plans prepare him for her, the frustrating artist who ignites his sin like no other. To avoid a ruinous scandal, Camilla is forced to enter a devil's bargain with Envy, little expecting his game will awaken her true nature. Sounds really interesting, and this one is an autographed version. I don't actually care much for autographs. I really wanted the pink version, the special Barnes & Noble's edition. Next in that same package was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I think Sarah Caroli started the hype about this book and everyone's been raving about it. I have no idea what this book is about. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. But when she unwittingly saves one of Ilia's princes, Kai Azur, she's thrown into the Purging Trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elites' powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Peyton is. Completely ordinary. Not sure that I would pick this up based on the synopsis, and I really wanted it in paperback, but they didn't have it. Next book in that same package is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Orphaned as a baby, 19-year-old Signa has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns. When their mother's restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family she depends on could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. However, Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself, a fascinating, dangerous shadow who has never been far from her side. Okay, I thought Stable Boy was going to be the love interest, but seems like a love triangle. I always go for Death. In my other series, Arcana Chronicles, there's also a character named Death, and he's my Aaron Warner. I love those types of characters. I also heard good things about this, and I really love the covers. I've never heard anyone talk about this book. I thought it sounded really good. So this is House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. Camila Marquise is doing all she can to keep her family's syndicate, the Iron Saint Railway, from slipping into bankruptcy. When the gorgeous and depraved Nikolai Atano, the leader of a rival family, offers to pay off the inspector in exchange for her hand, she has no choice but to give up her only throne. Nico has his own motivations for their union beyond maintaining peace with her family. A serial kidnapper known as the Collector has been ravaging the streets of Remnant Row. Oh my god! When the forbidden feelings rise for her new husband and dark family secrets come to light, Mila must discover the truth about her past before it gets them both killed, or worse, collected. It really reminds me of the series Carnival Row. I just started watching it, featuring Cara Delevingne. There's also like a serial killer, there's also some fairies, some magic involved. There's a street in this book called Remnant Row, and I think in that series it's called The Row. It sounds really good. Ooh, I love that. I love when there's photos of the characters. Ooh, they are stunning. I love that. Next, I have White Horse Black Knights by Evie Marceau. Locked away for 10 years, Sabine Darrow's only friends are animals she communicates with using magic. Now sold as a bride to a villainous High Lord, her greatest fear is trading one prison for another. But a potential escape lies in the form of her gruff yet achingly handsome guard, whose loyalty she is determined to break. I think that just sold me. Right then and there, I was like, I have to buy this book. A huntsman with heightened senses, Bastion Wolf Beauborn, has more important things to do than transport his master's new bride, until a forbidden attraction becomes an unyielding obsession. Welcome to These names. Welcome to Astagnan, a kingdom of cruel games and corrupted courts, where the only thing more dangerous than the secrets slumbering underground is falling for one person you can't have. I am excited to read this. Next, I have A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, special edition. I am not going to even explain this book or this series. It's the third book in her Once Upon a Broken Heart series, final book. I read the Caraval series. I gave it overall 3.5 stars, but I've heard really good things about this one, so we'll see what it gives. I just am not the biggest fan of her writing style. I don't like the purple prose. I don't like the descriptions without actually describing anything. It's like not plot heavy at all. So we'll see what I think about these books. I am nervous that I won't like them. Then I got the special edition of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, the collector's edition. Looking back, I don't know why I got this. I haven't even read the series yet, so tell me why I'm like this. It's not super stunning. Is this a purchase I regret? Kind of. Next, I have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I have... I don't know why I'm like this. I have the Fairy Loot and Owl Crate version of this book. Cost me a fortune, but yet I've never even read the actual book. And I refuse to read from special edition books because I like to maintain their pristine condition. So I bought this so that I could finally actually read the series. Also don't feel the need to explain this book because it is so popular. But basically, it's about two rival journalists or something like newspaper related. Iris, the main character, starts writing letters who she thinks is being sent to her brother, but it's actually being sent to her rival Roman. I just know it's really well written and the romance is like top tier. Next, I have Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher, special edition, because Indigo started selling special edition books. For humans, the circus is a place filled with wonder and amazement. For Harrow, though, it's a place to hide from those who slaughtered her entire clan. Disguising her abilities as part of her act has kept her true identity safe for years, until he arrives. A strange new attraction with no name, no memory of who or even what he is, let alone an explanation for his odd yet deadly powers. With every secret she unlocks from his past, another from hers whispers free as well. She's afraid she's given them the perfect weapon against her, because he's not who he seems. but maybe it's time they finally learn. Neither is she. Ooh, I love that. I got goosebumps reading that. Next, I have The Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. This is about Rune, whose life changed forever on one night when blood ran in the streets. Now in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic. Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights at the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante. When a rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. He's a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Rune represents, but when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circle by pretending to court her. Oh my god, that's insane. She's like courting him under false pretenses. He's doing the same to her, and they're trying to get each other. This sounds like a really good book. I'm excited. Also never heard of this. Also never heard of the author. But I'm trying to discover like these low-key, I think they're called indie fantasy romance books. Next two books I have are psychological self-help books. First one I have is 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. So 8 Rules of Love, How to Find It, Keep It, and Let It Go. I just thought this was super interesting because like as a society, I guess no one really teaches you how to love a human being. You just kind of enter it not knowing like what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to love, how you're supposed to reciprocate, and it's kind of like learn as you go. Like one day I was just thinking about this and it just baffled me. Well, I guess that could be said about a lot of things. Like nobody teaches you how to love a family. I picked this up just to appease the psychology student in me. I'm also applying for a PhD in the near future, and I could potentially be interested in couples relationships, so I thought this could be like a good insight as to whether it interests me or not. The second self-help book is 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Wiest. I don't know why I keep buying psychological self-help related books, because I have a few by Brene Brown, who's very well known in the psychology community. And also I have James Clear, which, funny story, I have been receiving James Clear emails for the longest time. I did not know that he was like some famous person who had written a book until I saw it at Costco one day, and I just haven't read them because I feel, for me at least, for it to be effective, I have to take notes, because otherwise in the moment when I'm reading them, I gain a lot of insight and clarity, except that if you ask me about it 3 weeks later, I'll have completely forgotten about it. So it'd have to be something that I take notes on and revisit. Who has the time for that? Next book I have is Tonight I Burn by Catherine J. Adams, also possibly an indie fantasy romance book. This is about Penny Albright, who is a thorn witch. Each night, one witch alone must cross the veil by burning. Each morning, that witch uses her magic to return. But one morning, Penny's sister doesn't return. And that night, determined to find her, Penny breaks the rules and burns in secret. It's a choice that leads her to Malin, a devastating lord with too many secrets, to Alice, a mysterious captive prophet, and to a rebellion brewing in the shadows that will determine not just her sister's fate, but the fate of all magic. Okay, now that I'm reading back on the synopsis, doesn't seem like the most interesting book, but I'll still give it a try. It just doesn't capture me as much as I remember it capturing me. The cover is really gorgeous. Like there's so many details in here. Last of my book haul, I have Brides of Fae and Mist by Eliza Reign. I first found this first book on Kindle. I read it and finished it in a couple days. I just couldn't put it down, and it like hit me by surprise because I really wasn't expecting it to be so good. Reading on my Kindle feels very similar to reading on Wattpad. And when I think of Wattpad, I don't think of necessarily high quality writing, high plot driven, developed stories. So I went into this book thinking like that, but absolutely loved it. In this world, you have like this tree of life, and each branch on the tree is connected to a different court. The main character, I don't remember her name, Reyna, she is a human, and in this world the Fae have all the power and all the humans are essentially born into slavery. Some humans have a special ability where they are able to mold and manipulate and shape the element. So she has the special ability to do that with gold. So she is very valuable as a worker. One day, the Shadow Prince invades her court and steals her and brings him to the Shadow Court. And the Shadow Court is known as like the worst court there is. They're highly manipulative, they'll control your mind, they'll brainwash you, stuff like that. Except that the Shadow Prince is not at all what she expected. He's so gentle, so kind, and so good-hearted that it kind of takes her by surprise. His mother wants to kill Reina, but then the Shadow Prince is like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna marry her. Like, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, in order to protect her. And in this world, Faye can only take one bride. Just the fact that he sacrificed all of that just to protect her and keep her alive was very, very slow burn, very who did this to you, enemies to lovers type of thing, forced marriage. I bought the physical book because there's so many things that I want to highlight and annotate. That is everything in this haul. I have 16 books in this haul. I say this so often, but I really feel like I need to go on a book buying ban for real this time. I am going to go on a book buying ban. I'll see if I can stick to it. I just feel lately that I'm not very connected to the reading world anymore, not as much as I was last year, but I really, really want to get back into it. I'm gonna use this as a motivation to force myself to read because a lot of these sound really good. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you've read any of the books in this haul, do let a girl know your opinions and thoughts and what you gave the book as a star rating. I will see you guys hopefully soon in my next video. Bye!
'Cause I've got an internet crush. She's not a celebrity, but she's taken. Still can't help falling in love. Can't take the hint and get